My ideas came when I went back to Italy the first few years. As we call in Italy, is like a Rosticceria. You know, you could go there and get a fast food or get pasta, olive oil, and go home and cook it yourself. And every day, sometimes we make something different. Just use natural product, very simple, and it comes out good. I know these kids, when their grandparents, they used to bring them here. I've been here for 37 years. I call Cicero my second home. From Naples, I came to Cicero, and Cicero is my kind of town. I love it. I enjoy every day. The day that I can't enjoy it anymore, then it's time to retire.
Massimo, you picked Freddy's. Tell us why you think it's such an authentic Italian experience.
It's truly authentic because I've been going to Freddy's ever since my family came to Chicago when we moved to Cicero from Italy. And from when I was 5, being walked in the door by my mother's hand, just the same sense of that what was happening in my mother's kitchen was absolutely happening at Freddy's. And you get pizza coming out of that oven that Joe makes every day in the back in the kitchen. And then they have this antipasta deli where you have the frutti di mare, the seafood salad, and in there you have fresh shrimp, and you have mussels, and you have calamari, and you have octopus, and done in the olive oil with the parsley and the lemon as my mom makes it at home. It's just absolutely delicious.
You're making me hungry. Stop. Jeez. Now, Weeks, were you surprised by Freddy's?
I was. I think, you know, part of it was that it was exactly what you're saying. I mean, I thought it was like a Barry Levinson movie set, you know, because you walk in, and I'm not kidding you, Frank Sinatra's on the overhead, you know, in the music system, and there's people speaking Italian, and there's cardboard signs that have clearly been there for like 25 years, and there's just something that was so charming about it. I mean, it was so, you know, I remember saying to my husband, places like this are an endangered species.
I guess I don't consider Freddy's a restaurant. I think that Freddy's is a great corner deli in Cicero. I think that from what I've read, it's been there forever. If I was entertaining, I think it'd be a great place. If I lived in the area, it'd be a great place. I thought the pizza was average. We ordered a thin crust just because we wanted to taste that also. There's several places here in the city that I think are equally as good. The fried artichokes were outstanding, I have to tell you, and the gelato was to die for.
We had the thin crust pizza also, and I actually liked the crust. I thought the crust was outstanding. It was almost like a ciabatta kind of chewiness, but I think the gelato really was. Oh my
It's award-winning
goodness.
gelato. It was rated one of
It
the
was
finest
amazing.
gelaterias in Chicago,
We had the Oreo gelato, and I could have just sat there and eaten the whole tub.
I had the limoncello, which was fantastic. And again, it's back to that. I think there's somebody lying in bed saying, you know, we've been doing the lemon gelato. Maybe we should do the limoncello gelato.
Loyal.
Yeah.
Tell us about
Absolutely.
Joe and Anna Maria, the owners.
Joe and Anna Maria are just a wonderful bunch of people, and they're very compassionate people. You bring someone there for the first time, a first-time customer, and they treat them with respect as if they're family, because they know that person's going to come back. Everybody goes back to Freddy's. It's going to be there for a long time. The people appreciate it being there, and it is a landmark. And people need to get out there, and if they don't, they're missing the boat. If you don't see what is happening on 16th Street at Freddy's, you're losing a historic feel of what old world Italy used to be here in Chicago.
Alan, doesn't it make a difference for you that this is a neighborhood place that, yes, I agree, it is an endangered species. Doesn't that make a difference for you to sort of overlook the fact that the food perhaps isn't that great, in your opinion?
From a standpoint of main course entree, I just think that there's more bang for the buck in a lot of other places.
So for you, the food is the final deal, despite the fact that it is...
Absolutely. I'm not an ambience person. I don't want to sit in a hovel but by the same token, the bottom line is how good is the food.
Massimo, you're from Cicero. Tell us what Cicero's like.
Back when I was growing up, it was fluent Italian and Bohemian. You had your Italian mothers yelling down the streets for their children. You had your mother chasing you with a plate of pasta, making you eat. It just, everything that the Italians did back home, they did in Cicero.
But that wasn't necessarily the majority of the makeup we saw when we were there.
What is a predominantly Hispanic neighborhood
I was surprised because when I think of Cicero, I think of Betty Lauren, you know, and well, you know, it's like, hey guys, you know, let's do this right, you know. I mean, that's just sort of what I think about when I think of Cicero.
One of the things that really, that one of the, I guess, feelings that I came away from with Freddy's was kind of a sadness. I sit there and I think, gosh, you know, I've lived 2.5 miles away from that place for 6 years, and I never knew it was there. And I mean, I'm glad it's being featured on this show for that reason. That, you know, it's so hard for them to compete with the Pizza Huts and the Domino's and everything in terms of PR when they're
and their
certainly
prices
on,
aren't any
yeah,
more
and certainly on the
expensive. I
same
mean, we
footing.
got a medium thin crust pizza that was no more expensive than if we had gone to a chain.
Exactly.
But I wish, I mean, you keep talking about the pizza and the gelato, but there's so much more there. There's so much more family and heart into Freddy's. I mean,
absolutely.
if you look behind the counter and you look at those antipastos, or if you go to the deli counter and you see the prosciutto di Parma hanging, it's just, if you did not grow up that way, you can't appreciate it to the extent that I appreciate it.
All right, Massimo, Freddy's was your selection. Give us a summary.
Delicious, appetizing, and wonderful. Old World Italy brought to you on 16th Street.
I thought it was good pizza, not outstanding, but good. But I would definitely go back for the gelato.
right.
Definitely.
Alan.
Great appetizers, great gelato, smear it all over yourself and eat it. It's like, it just was wonderful, and good bread.
Well, you can have the gelato and much more at Freddy's Pizza, 1600 South 61st Avenue in Cicero, 708-863-9289. We're open daily, Monday through Saturday. Reservations are not accepted, and the average tab per person is $10.